Hello and welcome to this fireside chat with Meredith Worrilow, who is the Global Director, Marketing and Insights for Activision Blizzard. We're going to discuss the myth that gamers are not just spotty teenage boys sitting in their bedrooms with bottles of Mountain Dew eating bags of Doritos. In fact, according to a new report published by Activision Blizzard Media, women play an awful lot of video games. And this is something that is misunderstood from buyers in the industry. Now, what's interesting and worth revealing to the audience is that I'm particularly excited to do this interview as I'm a keen gamer myself. I clock up a fair few hours of gaming each week, and I'm obsessed with Activision's latest release, Call of Duty and Warzone. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Warzone, which is a free game, attracted 50 million gamers in the first month it was released, which is just a staggering amount of people. And everyone will be familiar with Fortnite, and Warzone is a very similar concept, but frankly, much better, in my opinion. So, Meredith, let's start off explaining a little about this report, which publicizes that the gamer stereotype is wrong, followed up by the claim that most mums are gamers.
Yes, thank you, Justin. So our research objective was to really better understand gamer moms, including their attitudes and behaviors, while exploring opportunities for brands to engage with them. So as you mentioned, there is a perception out there that gaming is dominated by young males, but the reality is that women account for a significant portion of the gaming audience, specifically moms. It's really important, we feel, that people really understand and can hear from moms about how much and how often they are playing games. So we went out into market to do an online quantitative research study of over 7,000 women between the ages of 25 and 54 who have at least one child at home, right, moms, and we did it in 4 markets. So the research was performed in the US, UK, Germany, and France.
Okay, and what were the key sort of findings in this report, and maybe things that perhaps surprised you?
So there were 4 key insights that came out of this report. That one, most moms are gamers. Gamer moms like to be entertained, like everyone else who's engaging with gaming. Gaming delivers, value and positivity to these moms, and they're prime for brands. So when we say most moms are gamers, we are talking about over 70% of moms saying that surveyed saying that they play games. That's huge. So what does that look like? What does that mean? That's over 90% of them playing mobile games at least weekly. Nearly 3/4 playing daily. And what might be surprising to some people is that, over 50% play across multiple platforms. So, specifically in the EU3, that's really surprising for a lot of people, but was very exciting for us to see.
Yeah, and actually on that, I think you've shown a little artistic license with the word gamer, because that term certainly to me sort of implies people with headsets, PCs and consoles spending hours playing first-person shooters or strategy games with mates. But in your definition, you've included mobile games, which could be Words with Scrabble or Candy Crush or stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I think, you're very right. I think that's exactly the point, is that this is a misconception, right? So gameplay is for everyone. It is a thing that people are doing in great numbers that are not just specific hardcore gaming audiences. What's interesting even more so is that, when we did do this research, we wanted to ask about gamer identity. And we found that 48% of moms who play games don't self-identify as a gamer. So again, it's about bringing awareness to the fact that there's just a huge audience that just isn't saying out loud, isn't projecting that they're a gamer, but is actually doing all of the same behaviors as gamers.
So do you find when you approach buyers that they don't fully understand the sort of diversity of the gaming audience?
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what this research was meant to do, right? So our job as, a publisher is to make sure that people understand who are playing our games and who our fans are. So, when we think about who's out there engaging with gamers, there are some brands that really get it and they have an understanding of the fact that this is a mass appealing audience, like that this has mass commercial appeal to lots of different audiences. But there are other brands out there that don't understand or haven't really realized that moms are available to them through gaming entertainment, and it's a huge opportunity for people to engage with a different touch point, different connection point for moms.
So I did read on your bio, your ex-agency. Did you have this opinion when you were in agency land about gamers?
I am ex-agency. I would say that I think for me, I probably up until probably the last 5 years, probably never thought about my gaming behavior. As a gamer, right? I've played games since I was 7 years old, but I would never say wow, Meredith, she's a gamer. But as I think about what I do and how I spend my time, I am a gamer. I spend hours and hours playing and engaging with high quality games on my mobile, on my Xbox. And yeah, I would say that I have always loved gaming, but I didn't really understand the power of gaming until recently.
I will come back to that. What's your are you a Warzone player? Are you playing some of these sort of hardcore first person shooting games?
So I am not a Warzone player, but I am a watcher. So I have definitely enjoyed watching others play Warzone. I really do enjoy the beautiful chaos that it is.
Oh, you're a voyeur, right? I get that. So, from a sort of client and branding perspective and sort of delivery, do you know where sort of clients are diverting spend from typically when they invest in video games? Because it's quite a new area, isn't it?
So I think, that's a really great question. I think it all goes down to how agency buyers are channel planning, right? And how they're kind of putting digital media into their channel plans. So when it comes to where it's coming from, I think it's definitely right now currently existing within digital budgets, right? Mobile budgets. But as we think about the fact that video gaming is premium high quality video, like when we start to think about holistic video investment strategies, there's a 360 opportunity for dollars to flow through any kind of premium video medium. So I think um, it's different for every organization, every buyer, and every client out there, but it is definitely a high quality video, opportunity.
So one area that really interests me is actually like how to deliver a sort of valuable advertising proposition to gamers because they are hugely loyal and passionate. They spend a lot of time and money and investment in these games to level up and progress. You know, these dedicated users are classed as hardcore. So how you balance the sort of passion of these gamers with the sort of needs and wants of brands is obviously a very tricky process. Can you talk me through this? Because if you get this wrong, it can be devastating for both the games company and the brand. You know, I've been on Reddit, I've seen these discussions, people go nuts over some of these things. So how do you juggle that sort of balance?
Yeah, so I think, it's not just gamers, right? People want to have meaningful connections, like in all of the experiences that they have. Like this is an interactive form of entertainment. Like people want to feel a value exchange. They want, they're very marketing savvy. They're very aware. So I would say it's about making sure that the connection that you're building and the information and the creative that you're bringing forth is additive to the experience. At Activision Blizzard Media, we are making ad products that are fan forward and fan first to make sure that we're not alienating consumers, right? So when we started with, mobile video products, they're opt-in, they're rewarded, they are giving people something for their time, right? When we think about esports, we know that esports fans feel their passions are legitimized when they see advertisers there, right? High quality advertisers. So there's a reason that, we modeled our after sports. So it's about learning from what others have done right and kind of making sure that you're building products that are not going to be disruptive to the fan experience, right? And are going to be additive. It's working with your studio teams to make sure that the creative is all aligned and makes it doesn't feel jarring, right? So it's all about just kind of organic and endemic content and making sure that it's not speaking their language. And remember, like this is not just teen boys, right? This is moms, this is women, this is parents, right? So there is opportunity to kind of have broad reaching messaging in here too. It doesn't always have to be super customer bespoke, right? There are tons of opportunities to use video gaming as a reach medium.
So do you know how receptive gamers are to advertising? Have you ever done any research around that?
Yeah, so we do a ton of research with our players and understanding what they like and what they value. I can definitely say our fun and friendly titles within the King portfolio, the opt-in rewarded video has been very successful for us, and our players actually like the reward. It provides them some value. So we definitely have that as part of our research roadmap. We're always continuing to do player sentiment and understanding as we launch new ad products and games. So it's definitely something that's very important to us at Activision Blizzard Media.
So you mentioned this before about the sort of that passion, which is hugely valuable to the advertising industry because people are so engrossed in these games. But it also that passion comes with the price. You know, if you get it wrong, you can get a backlash. And these games are expensive, and people invest a lot of time into them, as we said. And gamers can be fickle. Have you got examples of how these sort of brand integrations within that environment has worked? And maybe you've got an example where it hasn't worked.
So I would say, mobile has been the great equalizer when it comes to access and opportunity. So, when you speak about the fact that we've got games that are, people have to spend, hard-earned dollars on, there's also opportunities for free to play, right? So I think when it comes to the ad experience, it's again making sure that it's additive and providing value. In Q1 2020, Activision Blizzard, announced that we have over, 400 million monthly active users. That's a lot of passionate players across a lot of different devices. People want to engage in different ways, and they're looking for different things when they're coming to different games or different platforms. So I would say just continuing to make sure that we are fan first in all of our ad formats is what works, right? Like, we have been successful in doing things that don't alienate our players, right? Like, when we work on our integrated sponsorships, we are working with our studio teams to make sure that the experience is high quality and super fun and engaging for our players, as well as meaningful and providing meaningful brand impact and downstream impact for advertisers. We have in-stream media opportunities that are high quality premium video and eSports, right? That is about making sure that those ad experiences feel organic to the way that a stream the stream that you're watching. So again, I think it's just about making sure that the ad format fits the game experience or the viewer experience.
Yeah, so you mentioned this quite a bit, mobile gaming, things like esports. What are the sort of key differences between those two platforms?
Well, one, to your point, is earlier when we talked about me being a voyeur, one is a viewing experience, right? And where you're getting to see the best of the best compete, and you're a part of a community that's very engaged. And then on mobile, you can be a part of a community, but you also have that opportunity for a one-on-one individualistic experience, right? We know that gaming gives people stress relief. It gives them relaxation, it gives them escapism, but it also gives them connection. So when we think about esports, right, it's really about that community, that connection, that shared viewership, that love of sports, that kind of fandom. And then when we think about mobile opportunities, it is still about community, right? There are people that you are sharing your play with, but it's really about finding that individual moment for yourself, that stress relief, that relaxation, that escapism. So I would say right now, those are probably two of the biggest differences between the two platforms.
Okay, so just to sort of cap off this, gaming and advertising around video games is fairly nascent, and it's certainly a growing area when you combine mobile with esports and console gaming. So where do you think this is all heading? What's the sort of future of sort of marketing around that type of content?
My wishful thinking, so I would say, where we are right now, people are aware of gaming. People are aware of the fact that entertainment is high value. I mean, we are in a world where entertainment matters more than ever. So I think that advertisers and clients out there are starting to open their eyes to the opportunities here with gaming. So I expect to see a continuous group of gamers, and that number continue to grow. I also expect to see new clients onboarding to gaming to reach audiences that they never thought they could reach because they know that they're there now. And then I actually expect to see people talking about their gameplay more, right? It becoming this less of a stigma, right, based on a stereotype, and more of an experience you talk about, water cooler content, right? Like, there's a reason we talk about movies and TV and music with our friends. Like, that is happening with gaming. It's just happening on a smaller scale. So I fully expect to see gaming conversations to be way more part of mainstream culture.
So the stigma will die away, and brands and game company alike will be able to monetize the attention that these games are driving.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, that's a good way to cap it off. Meredith, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it and really enjoyed this chat.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.